Welcome to the Explainer. Getting life-saving medical care out of Gaza, it's just an incredibly complex journey. So today, we're going to walk you through that entire process, step by step, from inside Gaza all the way to hospitals in Egypt. And this is all coming from a first-hand account from an Egyptian official who's right there on the ground at the critical Rafah crossing.
All right, so here's how we're going to break this down. First, we'll start right at the Rafah crossing itself, to set the scene. Then, we're going to follow a patient's journey step by step. After that, we'll look at the 3 stages of care they get once they're in Egypt, and we'll really try to get a handle on the sheer scale of this whole effort. And then finally, we'll dig into the major obstacles that make this whole lifeline so challenging.
This quote right here from the governor of North Sinai, it's really key to understanding the whole perspective. He says, I am not asking for support, but I want to clarify the extent of the efforts we are making. He's not coming with his hand out. He's trying to show the world the enormous effort his teams are already putting in. It's a really subtle but powerful distinction, and it pretty much frames everything else we're about to see. Okay, so let's really set the scene here. We're at the Rafah crossing. This is one of the most tense and vital border points in the entire world. And what we're looking at isn't some plan on a piece of paper. This is a massive, real-time humanitarian mission happening right now, in action. So where does it all start? Every single one of these journeys begins right here, with what is basically a life or death decision inside Gaza. The very first step is figuring out which patients have injuries or illnesses so severe that the local medical facilities, which are under just immense strain, simply can't treat them. Okay, so once a patient is identified, then what? You might think it's as simple as just crossing a border, right? Well, it's not even close. It's this incredibly complex, multi-step journey that has to happen before any treatment can even begin. And this process, man, it's a bureaucratic marathon. Just try to put yourself in a patient's shoes for a second. First, you have to apply, just to get on a list. Then officials have to prioritize your case based on how urgent it is. After that, there's this huge coordination effort between all the different parties to arrange your passage. Then you're gathered up with others for transport. And finally, you have to pass through Israeli checkpoints at the Abu Salam crossing just to get to the Egyptian side. It's just a lot. And look, if that journey already sounds long, get this. The wait to even start it can be up to 4 months. 4 months. According to the official, that's how long some people are waiting just to get their name put on an evacuation list. Think about that. 4 months of just waiting, of uncertainty, probably with your health getting worse, before step 1 of that process we just saw even kicks off. All right, so let's say a patient makes it through all of that and successfully crosses the border. What then? Well, they enter this highly organized 3-stage system. It's all designed to get them exactly the right level of medical attention as fast as humanly possible. Yeah, this 3-stage system is all about speed and efficiency. Stage 1 is immediate triage, happening right there at the crossing. If you're stable, you move to Stage 2. You get transported to a nearby hospital. But if your case is critical, you skip right to Stage 3. That's an emergency airlift or a high-speed ambulance transfer straight to a major medical center. Every single second counts here. And that first line of defense, that Stage 1, it's absolutely crucial. It's all handled by 3 of these mobile medical units. You really got to think of them like mini emergency rooms on wheels. They're fully staffed, fully equipped, and they're there to make those critical, on-the-spot assessments that decide everything that happens next. So, we've seen the process, right? But what does this scale of this whole thing actually look like? The numbers here are pretty staggering, and they really do tell a powerful story. Okay, so check this out. Every single day, about 150 people make this crossing. But wait, that's not 150 patients. That number actually includes the family members, the spouses, parents, children, who come with each patient. And they're providing that absolutely crucial support on what has to be an incredibly difficult journey. And when you zoom out from that daily number, the effort really adds up. Over the course of this entire operation, this medical lifeline has provided care to a staggering total of around 20,000 patients. 20,000. But, and this is a big but, despite this massive, highly organized effort, the governor was very clear about something. There are powerful forces that are limiting what they can actually achieve. This whole mission is running into some significant roadblocks. And he's very direct about it. He says political matters and obstacles are the reasons they can't provide full support.
Now, that's a pretty diplomatic way of saying that big decisions, decisions made far away from the border, are literally preventing them from helping more people who desperately need it. And their goal here, their ambition, it actually goes beyond just one-way emergency evacuations. The ultimate goal is to create a true humanitarian corridor. We're not just talking about bringing patients out for treatment, but also allowing those who've recovered to safely return to their families and their homes, a two-way street. And really, this is the big picture. The official really emphasized that this medical lifeline, as absolutely vital as it is ultimately a symptom of a much larger problem. So the end goal isn't just better aid. It's a lasting, peaceful resolution for everyone in the region. So what have we seen here? It's a remarkable system of care, right? A true lifeline that is constantly pushing up against these immense political barriers. And it really leaves us with a critical question to think about. When human lives are literally hanging in the balance, how do you find a path through those kinds of obstacles?